So when we moved to New York in 2016, no, 14, 16 is when we moved to Chicago. When we sold the house, we didn't have a apartment. We didn't have a place to live. So we had packed the house, sold the house, but we had no idea where we were going to unload and live. So we had one apartment that was 80% confirmed, but it wasn't positive. So it was a little nerve-wracking because we had to pack up and said, okay, we're moving to New York. We didn't know where we were going to live. So we thought we might have to live in a hotel for a while. We didn't know how long we were going to have to live in a hotel. So that was a little stressful. And then 2 days before we actually left, the apartment got confirmed. So we had a place to live, which was probably not the best decision, but it was all we had going. But once we packed up and drove there and kind of moved in, it was a pretty fun experience in the beginning because we were exploring the city and going to learn more about Brooklyn and New York and see all the things that you don't have time to go see when you're just visiting the city for fun. So that was fun, and trying different restaurants all the time when we could. The other thing we learned is to visit New York is fun and exciting, but to live in New York is fun, but also difficult and stressful and very expensive. So we had to pick and choose what we could spend our money on as far as the sightseeing, because we still had to pay for expensive food and expensive rent and expensive everything else. So that was a big change for us because we thought it was going to be all fun, but then we found out that it takes a lot of money to live in New York, more than we thought. So that was fun, and probably the best times in New York were the weekends when we could just go and hop on the train and head into Manhattan and say, okay, let's go here, but we might get lost or take a while to get there, and we would discover things that we weren't even planning on seeing. That made the trip a little bit more memorable. And we had fun times on the train, and you see every kind of different type of unique individual on the subway. So it was always fun and exciting to do that. So that was New York. We stayed there for a couple of years, and by the time the job changed, we were about ready to be done with New York, as it was starting to wear on us as a small apartment and never having a place to park and trying to find difficult to go grocery shopping, and all of those things were just starting to wear on us as a family. It's great for a single person, but for a family it's definitely more and more difficult. Plus the kids were getting bigger and we only had a car, so they were all squeezed into the back of one car when we would go anywhere or travel anywhere. So those kinds of things started to wear on us, and we were ready to go when it was time to